Hello, this is a brief screencast to give a quick overview of mastery exams as found in Math 135 Calculus courses at Franklin College. This video goes along with additional printed information about mastery exams that you should receive from your professor either as a part of the course syllabus or as an extra handout. In this screencast, we'll talk about a general overview of what mastery exams are and what they cover, the requirements for passing, how they're graded and how to retake them, how mastery exams contribute to your final course grade, some resources for practice and review, and finally some advice for how to make mastery exams a successful experience for you and to improve your learning of calculus. Well, first of all, what are mastery exams? Mastery exams are short answer, self-paced quizzes taken outside of class covering the most essential core components of pre-calculus and algebra. The topics you'll see on mastery exams are considered essential for an understanding of calculus. We here in the math department usually find that when students have problems with calculus, the real problem is not with calculus, but with some deficiency in the student's pre-calculus or algebra background. Mastery exams are intended to give timely, constructive review of these topics so that students, that's you, can go on to master calculus more quickly and easily. Mastery exams emphasize mechanical calculations and place practice and review of these skills outside of class so that you can spend time in class focusing on learning calculus. And your quizzes and tests can focus on mechanical calculations less and on conceptual understanding more. There are 4 of these exams, and they're designated by their content. The first exam is AA, which covers algebra and arithmetic. That would include fractions, solving linear equations, solving quadratic equations with and without the quadratic formula, and solving higher order equations using factoring. Exam EL on exponents and logarithms covers simplifying exponent expressions using the laws of exponents, writing logarithmic expressions as a single logarithm, calculating the exact value of a logarithm, solving basic equations involving exponential and logarithmic functions, and then using the change of base formula for logarithms. Exam FB for function basics involves finding the domain of a function given as a formula, finding the domain and range of a function given as a graph, reading the graph of a function, writing domain and range in correct interval notation, and classifying functions as linear, power, polynomial, exponential, or logarithmic functions when the function is given symbolically, graphically, or numerically. And finally, exam FA for function algebra covers using formula descriptions of functions to calculate symbolic and numerical input. Now, each of these 4 exams will have its own screencast coming soon to walk you through a practice version of each of these. So if you want to know more about the content just described, you can go watch those separately. So now let's talk about how these are graded and what it takes to pass, and then what happens if you don't pass. Mastery exams are short answer, and they are graded purely on correctness, just whether your answer in the blank is right or wrong. There's no partial credit, and some exams have more questions than others, and some problems are more involved. But very unlike how grading works on quiz and test questions in your class, where the process and solution are a lot more important than the final answer, on mastery exams, the only thing that counts is the final answer. In order to pass a mastery exam, you must attain a score of 100% on that exam. That is, you must complete the exam with no errors. We set the bar high mainly because the number of topics on each exam is small and the importance of each of those topics is very high. And mistake-free mastery of these topics is reasonable and in fact necessary for success in calculus. Also, this material is prerequisite knowledge. It is not taken from Math 135 itself. You've seen and done all this material before if you satisfy the entry requirements for the course. Also, these exams are to be taken without technology. No calculators or anything that works like a calculator is going to be allowed. In the Math 135 class, we will be using technology a lot to replace the mechanical work you do on algebra and pre-calculus topics. So mastery exams serve as a way to ensure that you are still fluent in doing such things without technology. Your initial attempts on the mastery exams will come during the first week of classes. If you pass all 4 during the first week, wonderful, you're done. If you did not pass one of the exams, don't worry. You are allowed 1 attempt to retake that exam per week, per exam, through the end of the last day of classes. For example, suppose that you take your exams during the first week of class and you don't pass exams EL or FB during that first week. Well, then in the second week, you will be able to retake a new version of those exams. If you happen to pass EL in the second week, then you're done with that exam. If you happen not to pass FB, then you can take yet another new version of FB in week 3. If you don't pass it in week 3, you can take another version of it in week 4, and so on, repeating this process once a week all the way through the last day of classes. Now, this allows you up to 14 attempts on each exam. You do not have to pass them in any particular order. Now, your instructor may opt to give your first attempt on mastery exams in class, but during the second week and on through the end of the semester, mastery exams are to be attempted outside the class meetings on your own schedule. You may take mastery exams in the Math Study Center, that is in the Hamilton Library during the Math Study Center's non-evening hours, or from the Business, Computing, and Mathematics Divisional Office on the first floor of Old Main near the math faculty offices during normal business hours. You do not need an appointment to retake mastery exams. New versions of the exams are made up every week and are available upon demand. Additional logistical information about retaking mastery exams will be given to you by your instructor if needed. And there is no time limit on retaking mastery exams other than normal business hours. So how do mastery exams figure into your course grade? Well, a failure to pass all 4 mastery exams by the last day of class will result in severe grade penalties. Those could be point deductions, a placing of a cap of C- on your grade, both, or something different. It is left up to your instructor, so please check your syllabus for the exact nature of those penalties. But do realize that the main thing is that not passing all 4 of these exams is very, very bad. Now, passing the exams does not add credit to your grade because we consider the material here to be prerequisite things that students in calculus should already know. However, your instructor might have set up some incentives for passing the exams earlier for other positive behaviors. So importantly, please consult your syllabus and your instructor for any additional bonuses or penalties or specifics that relate to mastery exams and passing them or not passing them. Now, we math faculty wouldn't hold such a high standard for passing if we didn't intend to help you meet it, so here are some things we've set up to help you review for and pass those exams. First of all, this website, box.net/MAT135 Mastery Exams, is a repository of practice versions of mastery exams and any exams from previous weeks. You can preview and download the exams and their answer keys from here as PDF files. Additionally, we have set up some walkthrough screencasts for one practice version of each of the 4 exams available through the Math Department's YouTube channel, FC Math Comp. You see there at the URL. These mastery exams are very similar from one week to the next, so these videos can help you study for any of the exams in any week. However, if you want to see particular problems worked out on video, please request it through your instructor and we'll try to make a video for it. Related to that, very importantly, your instructor is very happy to work on mastery exam questions with you in office hours or by appointment. And also the Math Studies Center staff is very well equipped to handle your mastery exam questions. The Math Studies Center is particularly good for evening study sessions, and if you take during the daytime hours, you can get help on an exam and then turn right around and take that exam immediately afterwards. Finally, if there's a particular topic that's bugging you, look for help online via Google or especially YouTube. Finally, here's some advice that we in the math department would like to give to you to help make these exams as productive an experience as possible. First of all, don't ever skip weeks or procrastinate if you have an unpassed mastery exam. Skipping weeks and procrastinating is by far the strongest trend of behavior among students who go the entire semester and don't pass mastery exams. And vice versa, students who do pass mastery exams, all their mastery exams, work on them consistently every week until they have them all passed, and they usually pass them by midterms. Secondly, if you find yourself not passing an exam, especially not passing the same exam repeatedly, maybe even for the same question repeatedly, get targeted help on the things that you are having trouble with using the available resources, especially office hours. Finally, don't get discouraged if you take more than a couple of attempts to pass an exam. This is actually quite common, but students that do pass exams don't skip weeks or procrastinate, and they do get targeted help using available resources. And if you do that, you'll pass too. If you have any further questions about mastery exams, your instructor is ready and willing to help you, so please feel free to ask. Thanks for watching.